Commissioner Anderson. Commissioner Anderson. Commissioner Baldwin III.
Present.
Commissioner Burnett.
Present. Thank you. Feeding children, but coming.
Commissioner Clymer is present. Commissioner Floyd Jr.
Present.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Mayer.
Present.
Present. Thank you. Feeding children, but coming.
Oh, thank you, Commissioner Quinn. Commissioner Clymer is present. Commissioner Floyd Jr. Or wait, sorry. I guess there was a little delay there in the audio. Apologize for that. Commissioner Redemel. Commissioner Redemel. Okay. Commissioner Wiley. Commissioner Wiley.
Present.
Madam Chair, we have a quorum.
Thank you very much. And now we will move to the adoption of the agenda from our November meeting. Is there a motion to adopt the agenda, please?
Motion.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
Second.
Thank you. And I assume no discussions, and therefore the minutes are hereby adopted. Oh, excuse me, I skipped the agenda item. I was supposed to move for the adoption of the agenda. May I move for the adoption of the agenda, please? And is there a second?
Moved.
Thank you. So the agenda is hereby approved, and the meeting of the minutes of the November 8th meeting from last year, minutes are hereby approved as well. And now we go straight into the report of the Office of Human Rights. Director Kind, the floor is yours.
Good evening, everyone. May I just say happy winter, midwinter, perhaps. I'm happy to be with you all tonight, and special wishes to our Commissioner Henry Floyd for his birthday. So happy birthday. I think I can say that one. So
Thank
Commissioner
you.
Floyd, happy birthday. Thank you for joining us. I'm just going to have a few updates, and to start, I want to introduce you to some new faces at OHR. I am very, very thrilled and excited to introduce you to our new Associate Director for Enforcement, Kenneth Saunders, whom you will see on your screens. We do have a great participation this evening, so you might have to scroll to your right to hit that arrow button to see Mr. Saunders. Now I'll let him speak in a minute here, but he comes from the Office of Human Rights in Fairfax County. And when he does his introductions, you will see that he is extremely humble. So let me just tell you that he has decades and decades and decades of experience in this arena. And I am just honored and fortunate to be joined by him. He was also previously the director of OHR in DC, believe it or not, back in early 2000. So we welcome him home. He has already made a tremendous difference in being here, and I am just proud to have his partnership. So without further ado, let me just give Mr. Saunders just a few minutes to say hello and provide a little bit of his background. Mr. Saunders? Ooh, you're on silence, Mr. Saunders.
Good evening, everyone. It's glad to be here tonight, and it's good to be back in DC. Please don't call me Mr. Saunders. You can call me Ken, or you can call me Kenny. But I started talking to Nen back, and I've known Nen, I think, since she came to OHR. We used to bump into each other at conferences, and I've always had a place in my heart for the District of Columbia. I came to DC OHR in 2003 from Shreveport, Louisiana. I don't know if anybody's from Louisiana. If you missed the 60s or the 70s, feel free to make a trip. But spent my time here in the Williams administration and did some excellent work. Someone reminded me yesterday that they were going to do a celebration for the 20th anniversary of the Language Access Act. And that's something that we had put together, and one of the deputy mayors had put that in our lap. And I think that the office did an excellent job. I'm proud to say that it became the the standard around the country. We went out to San Francisco and Oakland to do some research and see what they had done, what they were doing right. And I'm very proud of that, but someone just brought that to my attention on Monday. And I was telling my girlfriend, I said, I think that that's probably, aside from my children, probably the biggest accomplishment I've had. And I'm proud to say that. But it feels good to be back, had conversations with men looking to do some great work. I just want to say that the office has come leaps and bounds. When I left here in 2007, I think we had 27 employees, and we thought that that was huge. So when I was talking to Nin about the staffing, and she gave me the numbers, and I said, that's where I need to be. So I can talk all night, but I don't want to keep everyone. But look forward to meeting you and working with you in the future. I'm glad to be here.
Thank you. Our Associate Director for Enforcement will be responsible for overseeing our investigations units as well as our ADR units. And so if you have any questions about the process or if you have colleagues that have cases pending, need assistance with all of that, Mr. Saunders would be the one to direct those questions. With that, I will just share 2 additional new faces at OHR who are not here tonight because they're not here yet, but so you will probably see them in March. One is that we, as you may know, had a vacancy for our public affairs supervisory position. Those of you that were around in 2023, you probably knew Maya. That was Maya's position, and so that position has been filled. And so the new individual will start at the end of January. We also had a vacancy with a mediator in 2023 around the summertime as we elevated one of our mediators to mediation manager, Sterling, whom you have met. And so the new mediator will start also at the end of January. So those are all the new faces right now. With respect to operations updates, I'm really proud to share also, if you have been with me when I came into this chair in 2021 into 2022, you know that one of my mission for the Office of Human Rights was to get a working, effective case management system. But to do that, I had to learn the hard way that we needed a technical specialist. And to do that, I needed to get a budget for that. We had no such position. And so today, as of September, we do have an IT specialist that has been working to assess the current case management system, including the case management system for the commission. And so as of January 2024, I'm proud to say we are in the procurement stage of getting this new system for the office as well as the commission. So I'll keep you posted, but it is a lot of progress made in the last 6 months. I just hope that by the end, if not earlier, of the fiscal year, we will have a perfect, amazing, working, maybe not perfect, that may be putting too much expectations on the table there, but a truly effective working case management system to assist us in doing the work, assist you in doing your tribunal work, and assist you with easier access to the files in your tribunal work as well. So I'm excited about that. Next, I will say that you may have seen in your news updates that the District of Columbia is transitioning to a new telework policy as of March 2024. This does mean that our employees will be working 4 days a week in person and 1 telework day as opposed to 2. There will be an option for employees to choose a compressed compressed work schedule where they will work 4 days, 10 hours a day instead of working 5 days. More to come on that, but I share that with you to share that this is a big transition for the entire District of Columbia government, including our agency. And so with that comes a lot of heartaches, questions, and issues to address operationally. So we are in the midst of our senior leadership team, including my general counsel, who's here, Andrea Goplerud, and our chief administrative officer, as well as Brittany Kent. We are all working on a smooth transition for the agency in March. The next priority item I want to share with you, of course, is just around the corner in February. Again, if you've been here with us a couple of years, you know what time of year this is. This is oversight season. And so our performance oversight has been scheduled for February 21st for both the office and the commission. The questions were circulated earlier this week. And so we will have to have our responses due to the council by January 24th. If you have any desire to work with the responding to the questions, I am sure that Chair Aizawa would welcome that. Just reach out to her if you would like to be involved. I hope I haven't overstepped my bounds there, Chair, but I thought I would just open that door for you. So we are all working steadfastly at OHR to prepare a lot of these internal responses, in fact, by early next week, so that we can have a prepared and finalized responses to the questions by January 24th. All right, with that, lastly, I have, as always, some upcoming events to share, not the least of which, the most important actually, is this Friday. As you know, this weekend is the great Dr. King's birthday celebration. And in memory of that, every year, the District of Columbia engages in the wreath laying ceremony. It is this Friday at noon at the memorial. I will invite all of you to attend that. And if you're interested in participating in that proceeding, please contact Brittany. Brittany is also online tonight with us. Brittany, if you want, could you drop your email address into the chat so that if folks are interested in joining that ceremony, I really enjoy it. You usually have a youth National Guard that will open the ceremony. It's quite a moving one. So I really encourage you all to attend if you can. And then on February 23rd, we have our now, I think I can say, infamous Protected Trait 23 Protected Trait training on guess what day? The 23rd. So it's really not that hard to remember. On February 23rd, we will have 23 Protected Traits training. And then at the end of February, speaking of language access, we will have a language access training for all of our advisory neighborhood commissioners. So, you know, as you are in your networks, if you find that there are language access concerns for residents attending our ANC meetings, do let us know, because we are working really hard with ANC commissioners, as well as their some of the staffing from the mayor's office of neighborhood commissioners to ensure that there is sufficient language access services for residents. Lastly, and relatedly, it is this year in calendar year 2024, the 20th anniversary of the Language Access Act from 2004. So as Mr. Saunders was saying, we will be celebrating that, and we'll be hosting an event in April. So more to come, keep your eyes peeled, and we will share more as that develops. And I think that is it for you tonight, Chair Aizawa. Are there any questions for me?
Are there any
Yes,
questions?
I have a question for you, really quickly. Thank you. Is there can you please repeat the time for the MLK ceremony?
Yes, Commissioner, it will be at noon this Friday.
Thank you.
Any other questions, comments for Director Kyne? And I have to say congratulations for filling all those positions, some of which have been open for quite a while. So that is great news for OHR, and we look forward to working with them. Some of them we work closer than others, such as the public affairs position. We really did miss Maya's successor. So congratulations for filling all those positions. And again, welcome, Mr. Saunders. I just have a quick question. The Protected Traits training, I was not aware that the date had been fixed. And I just want to make sure that that date works for everybody, because that is specifically for the commissioners.
I don't think that update is specifically for the commissioners. That's one
Okay,
that
thank you.
is
Okay,
open
that's a
in
separate-
general, and we're gonna choose a date today for
Okay,
specific.
got it. Thank you.
That's right. That's correct.
Yeah, I knew that the issue would be coming up, and so let's address our date later in the meeting. So thank you very much for that reporting out. In terms of my report,
Chair, I'm sorry to interrupt. I think Commissioner Mayer has a question. He has his hand up.
I am not seeing. Sorry about that. Please go ahead, Commissioner Mayer.
Yeah, I just want to say I was very pleased to hear what you had to say about the briefings for the ANCs. Last night, on behalf of Pathways, I spoke at the Housing Justice and Zoning Committee meeting of ANC 1A. And when I mentioned I was a member of the commission, I did receive some questions, and I suggested in the future that maybe the Office of Human Rights could meet with that Housing Justice Committee, and they suggested a meeting with the full commission. They said they would prefer that. So quite possibly we'll be able to arrange that in the future. But I was pleased to hear that they were very interested in learning more about us.
Thank you for that comment, Commissioner Mayer. And any other comments? Questions? Hearing none. I am moving to my report. Actually, all my items are actually addressed in the new business section. And so in the interest of time, I will skip my report and move right to the next agenda item, which is the legislative update by General Counsel Gopalrod. We are looking forward to your update on, especially on the contested cases issue, but please go ahead. The floor is yours.
Thank you, and welcome all. Welcome to the beginning of the new year. I will keep it brief, but certainly give you guys some opportunity for questions if you have any. On December 6th, Director Kine and I participated and gave testimony before the Committee on Public Works and Operations, before Chairwoman Nadeau of that committee, on the Fairness and Human Rights Administration Act. So we're calling it here contested cases, but let me take a step back and tell you about what the broader bill is. And we'll talk specifically about how it impacts the commission if it gets passed in its current stage. So it's a bill that has been pending for a while. We have been working with the committee staff and with Councilmember Nadeau herself on various iterations. We've provided some red lines to her, but essentially for our purposes, there's kind of two main areas that I want to talk to you about potential changes that are coming. And one is a quick one, it's on damages, is that in the proposed bill, for claims against the government, the proposed bill would allow compensatory damages and reasonable attorney's fees. Currently, right now, those two are not allowed to be provided to successful complainants. And so this bill would make it statutorily available remedies that the hearing examiners, through the director's decision, can award to a successful complainant. For your all purposes, for private sector cases in the proposed bill, is that there would be the addition of punitive damages. So, again, punitive damages are damages that are not compensating someone directly for the pain and suffering that they encountered based on, let's say, humiliation or something, or to pay them for back pay or front pay, but rather this is really so that it doesn't happen again, and it's a punishment, it's punitive. They are available if a person filed a DCHRA claim in court against a private employer, but not for the commission to award. So the proposed bill would allow the commission to award those amounts. Does anybody have any questions on the damages portion? That one's pretty straightforward, but happy to answer if you have any questions. The next one is a little bit, I want to take a step back and tell you what our current process is and what the proposed bill would change. And this is going to deal with when a complainant has the right to go to court. As you all may know, unlike the EEOC for Title VII claims, Complainants don't have to come to OHR initially. And if there's a Title VII case and they want to go to federal court, they first have to go through, we call it, they have to exhaust their administrative remedies. Essentially, they just have to go and they have to go to EEOC and kind of check some boxes. For claims that are under just DCHRA claims, they could go to Superior Court day one. They never have to come to us. But let's say they do come to us. They file a charge with us. We start investigating it. At any point during the investigation, they can say, you know what? We're decided I'm going to remove this and go to court. That's totally fine. They're able to do that. And when I say remove to court, it doesn't mean that it starts from where the process in court starts from where we left off. Rather, it starts completely brand new. We call it de novo for those non-lawyers. So it would start with completely a new complaint, an answer by the respondent, there would be defendants then, and then go through full discovery. So any point in the investigation right now, complainants are able to remove to go to court during the investigation. What happens though is when you have that LOD, that letter of determination, whether it is either a probable cause finding, and then therefore it would go to the commission if it's a private case, or a no probable cause finding, right now at that point, there's no ability to say, oops, I'm going to go to court now, de novo. All they have the ability to do would be to appeal that decision to DC Superior Court, and it is under a very heightened level of review because it's considered an agency decision. So if a complainant said, I think you guys got this wrong, you said NPC and no probable cause, I think my case should still go forward. The only recourse they have at that point is this heightened review. It's called a petition for review. And it's a very high level of deference. It means that we basically had to, without getting the legalese, we had to get it really wrong for us to, for the court to overturn. And at that point, it's not de novo. It's not that they get to file a new complaint or anything. It is all they have to be able to go. The next step, the only thing available to them would be this heightened level of review. And that's it. That's the kind of the ability for complainants to go to court currently. So what the Fairness Act does is gives them more opportunities to go to court. So first, it's going to preserve the opportunity that they already have to go immediately, right? So that doesn't change. They never have to come to us. They can go immediately to court to find to file a complaint. It also doesn't change that they are able to withdraw at any point during the investigation stage, just like they are now. At any point during the investigation, they could say, yep, I'm going to do it. Well, what it does now is it provides the opportunity in two other circumstances. The new bill would provide an opportunity to go to court de novo in two separate circumstances. One of those would be after the letter of determination, right? So either the complainant gets a probable cause and they say, you know what, I'd rather go. Now I have this probable cause finding. I'd rather go to court. And yes, it starts everything from the beginning, but I'd rather do that. And they can have completely de novo. Or they get a no probable cause finding and they say, you know what, I want a second bite at it. And they go again, de novo then. That would be a completely new process and availability. The final one, and this is really will come in when we talk about contested cases, is that they now would have the ability, if this, as it is written now, to go to court completely de novo, even after a contested case. So even after there was a full evidentiary hearing, and even after there was a decision by you all as the commissioners. And that could be even if there was a favorable decision, they thought you should have awarded more. They then can go to court completely de novo. The court may consider what the commission found and the findings, but it doesn't have to. It's just, it would just be, advisory, suggestive if they want to. But they also can go, you have a full evidentiary hearing and there's a finding that there was no discrimination by you all. Now the complainant can go completely de novo to court also there and have a full another opportunity to go to court. And there's a couple of reasons that this is significant. Is one, what it does is it automatically makes what the commission process is and your both decisions and the evidentiary hearings that Chief Judge Pearson and Judge Ashju are no longer contested cases. Contested cases by definition are ones that you cannot go de novo to court. So if this bill becomes law, that means by definition, you would no longer have a contested case for what you all are doing. I think that there's a lot of other policy reasons too about what kind of implications this would have. And so, I'm happy to kind of talk through those either here or offline. But that's a big change. When the director and I testified on December 6th, we talked through part of these changes. about 90% of this, we are all full in agreement, and we're working with the committee and staff members to work through kind of refining the language so that it is more consistent with our processes. And then certainly the director expressed some concerns that we have with that final piece, the final removal after a full contested hearing. And so we have written testimony that we provided, and I'm happy to drop that, but also, talk if anybody has any questions. And again, either it is still proposed legislation, so this is a public forum, so I can answer some questions, but there might also be some questions if you have that I might need to do in a non-public forum, and I can reach out to you. But that's kind of the overview, but I'm happy, Director, if you want to add anything or modify anything that I explained.
No, thank you very much.
One of your questions, maybe what's next? And for those of not all that familiar with kind of the council process, is that the record has now closed for the committee hearing, meaning that all submissions have been put into the record. The committee is now doing its internal review, looking at the records, trying to determine whether there needs to be changes to the wording of the proposed bill to address the testimony or any of other pieces of information that went into the record. And we're working with the committee, like I said, and the staff during that process. Then we'll go up for a vote in the committee, and then eventually do a first and second reading before the full council. Any questions? We'll certainly keep you up to date. It will be a big change if it's, on how it goes through. So certainly, as it moves through the council process, especially if there are changes that come out of the committee, certainly, I'll provide an update in a next commission meeting after that. And then as and if when it gets implemented, we'll also certainly tell you all about how that will directly impact how you're hearing cases and everything like that. Judge Pearson, I welcome you too. She is definitely the expert on this, and it's my understanding that she sent you just a one-pager that I did think was really useful in seeing how the exception now about how your cases will no longer be contested cases. But any other thoughts too from Judge Pearson, Director, or anybody else, please.
No, I think you covered it. I don't know if you have any sense if that's something they're willing to take out at this point. Has there been any feedback on that?
We're in discussions. It hasn't been completely ruled off the table, and so I don't think. But more than that, all I can comment is that we're still working with them.
Thank you so much for that update. That is very useful. You did a very concise summary of a pretty complex situation. So I appreciate that. So are there any specific milestones that we should be watching out for? Or even that, are there opportunities to input, or have all those opportunities passed, basically?
Opportunities for official input have passed. That's what the testimony that the director and I, as well as many, constituent groups and certainly the plaintiffs bar has been very vocal about this. So officially to put into the record that has passed. Again, like I said, there's still room for negotiations kind of behind the scenes, and that's what we're doing now. In terms of milestone, the next thing that will come out will be the committee report. That's going to be a pretty comprehensive discussion and analysis of both the testimony that they received, as well as usually they provide a section by section analysis about what they considered, whether they made any changes. That also includes whether there are any financial implications to this, so that there would be, we call it a FISC, a financial impact statement, as well as it's my understanding that even for every bill, they'll also have a racial impact statement. So all of that is kind of in the works right now, but that will be the next real public milestone of moving this forward.
And approximately when would that be?
I don't have an estimate on that. I think it will depend a lot on how those negotiations are going. I don't have a time frame at this point. I would say we're not talking years. They have this does expire at some point. In terms of being it's. So at some point that we'll have to do something or withdraw it. So we're not talking years. I don't think we're talking months, but we're maybe talking. That's the best I could give you.
Let me just chime in and say that if it passes in this legislative season, then assuming it's funded appropriately, and then it would become enforceable and applicable only October 1st, 2024. That's the earliest it could go into effect. But it could be later.
Thank you. This has been this discussion has been around for a little bit, but it's quite a concerning issue from the Commission's point of view, because what we spend time on in adjudicating cases could be overturned and become completely a de novo case. And so I think we do have a view on this issue. I don't know if there are other commissioners who would like to ask Andrea questions, since we have her here with us. I don't see any hands, so thank you very much for that update, and please do keep us posted. All right, so now we will move to new business. I think everybody is ready for that. Okay, so first of all, the first item there is the tribunal agreement, which was attached to the agenda that Judge Pearson circulated. And that is basically a summary of a lot of things that we have discussed over the last few months about the commissioners being responsive to being available to serve on tribunals, and how to serve on tribunals. And so I don't think there is any surprise in that agreement. The idea is to just formalize all of that so that everybody is crystal clear about what they have been asked to do in terms of tribunal participation, which is our biggest responsibility as commissioners. So I had another close look at it this afternoon. It seems like everything that is in there are things that have been communicated to you through the manual, through the training, through bi-monthly meetings, and so on and so forth. But I'd just like to open the floor for discussion to the extent you have any questions about any provision in the agreement, the necessity for the agreement, hesitation, et cetera, et cetera. Just wanted to give everybody an opportunity to raise concerns. So I am not seeing any hand for engagement. Does this mean that people will be happy the commissioners will be happy to sign the agreement? I see people nodding. Thank you, Charlotte. And I see others nodding. Thank you very much. So if this is agreeable to you, then I think the next step is that Judge Pearson's office will make sure that we all have our individual agreement to sign and to return to her office, so that we have this on file. And of course, this will be the standard operating procedure for all new commissioners in the future to sign as well, right? So this will just be part of our procedure. So this is your last chance to raise any questions. Adam, please go ahead.
Yeah, and just for a comment, I wanted to thank you for preparing this. I thought the document was very thorough, and I look forward to it helping us with the process that we undertake in holding these tribunals.
Thank you very much for your support. Any other comments? Opinions? Hearing none. So it has been agreed that we will each sign our agreement. I think the ball is now in Judge Pearson's court. Thank you so much for drafting this and also to make sure that this is all signed up by us.
Yes, I will send it to everybody through DocuSign so that you can sign it electronically.
Excellent. Thank you so much. The next agenda item is the gala recap or the celebration recap. For those of you who were not able to participate, although I think most of you this year have been able to attend, which was wonderful. I just want to point out, I think you have the program that has been circulated, you know, the winners, awardees, I don't need to go through any of that. I just want to point out to you that the office has prepared this timeline. It's basically a very detailed timeline on the progress that the district made in providing protection for people with disabilities. And it just makes really interesting reading to the extent you are into that area of the law. And so I just want to encourage you to review this document, which is also available online. It's basically, it was issued as part of the Human Rights awards ceremony, and it was available alongside the program. So if you'd like to see that, and if you don't have access to it, please let me know. I'd be happy to forward it to you. Just wanted to bring that to your attention. And I guess that those who have been very involved in the organization of that award ceremony, I guess we should have a quick post-mortem of some kind. So I will try to arrange for that towards the end of this month or so, or maybe in February. On the whole, I think it went fairly smoothly. Always there are issues at the last minute, such as the caterer having forgotten to bring water and soda for the participants. But all in all, it went fairly well, and we had, I think, 100+ or so people in attendance. We had a very good participation from the various parts of the district government, including the 3 related agencies that have been sort of co-sponsors to the event. So I think that the event was a success, but there are all these details that perhaps the award committee should go through. So we will be having a post-mortem on the event. The next item, I just want to touch on the resignation of Karen Mulhauser. She sent a note to everybody, very touching note. And so I think you are familiar with the fact that she has decided to move on. She would like to do more advocacy for all the areas that she has been active. And in addition, she wanted to focus her time and energy on writing her memoir. And as a result, she decided that her priorities are elsewhere. And after 13 years of service, I don't blame her. I wish her all the best in all that advocacy work that she's going to be undertaking, plus her memoir. And who knows, we will be seeing that soon. So if you do have an opportunity to engage with her, please congratulate her for her 13 years of service, for which she received an award as Commissioner Emeritus. at the gala ceremony. And please do congratulate her for all of what she has done and all of the achievements she's yet to accomplish. And you know how much she loves to get together in person, oftentimes at her own condo. So if you do have an opportunity to visit, I think that she would absolutely love that. She could not participate in our meeting tonight because she had a conflict. But she wanted to just say hello, and please stay in touch. So the next agenda item is our annual elections. We are going to be choosing our vice chair and secretary positions. And so I am going to ask, nominations are now in order for the position of vice chair. And is there any nomination from the floor, please, for the position?
I would like to rise and nominate myself for the position of vice chair, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner Floyd. That is tremendous. Are there any other nominations for that position of vice chair? I don't see any other hand. And so without any other nomination, I think this means that the nomination of Commissioner Floyd is supported by the entire commission. And so I don't see any opposition or any new nominations. So in that case, congratulations, Commissioner Floyd.
Oh, thank you. Thank you all. I look forward to staying on the commission and doing what I can. Thank you.
That is tremendous. I know how busy you are. So this is just yet another responsibility, but I know that the commission would be really thankful for your service, and I will be also. So thank you so much and congratulations. Now nominations are in order for the office of secretary. Is there any nomination from the floor, please?
Hi, Chair. I rise to nominate myself for secretary.
Fantastic. Thank you, Commissioner Clymer. Is there any other self-nomination for the position of self or any other nomination for the position of secretary? I do not see any further nominations for the position of secretary. And so seeing no other hand, Commissioner Clymer, you are hereby elected secretary. Thank you very much and congratulations for yet another year of service. I'm looking forward to collaborating with you and also Commissioner Floyd. The three of us are part of the executive committee that will set agendas for the bi-monthly meetings and be available for any other urgent business. So thank you very much for that. Let's see, the next agenda item is just a quick review of the committee memberships. Judge Pearson kindly provided a quick summary of who is on what committee. Oops, did I miss? Okay, thank you. I think, did it go away, Erica?
Did you see the document?
I saw it.
I'm trying to share the list, but I didn't see it come up. And try again.
Thank you.
All right. Do you see the committee list?
I do, yeah.
Yes, this is a reminder. This is what I have, and for the committees that people have signed up for. So just want to take the opportunity to, reaffirm if anybody wants to join any other committees, be removed from the committees, and make sure that we've accounted for all of the committees that people would like to be on.
Yes, I think this is accurate, but if you see your name in the wrong place, please do let us know. And we do have Robert Baldwin III as chair of the Rules Committee. Thank you so much for your service. We are looking for chair of the Outreach Committee. Is there any possible volunteer at this point?
Chair Aizawa, I'll volunteer for that.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much. That is tremendous. So we have a chair of the Outreach Committee. And the last one is the Awards Committee. I think I am the acting chair. If anybody would like to be a formal chair, I would be very happy to just be a committee member. Is there anybody who would like to displace me? And if not tonight, you are still welcome to approach me and take that chair position whenever you feel like it. So thank you very much for your confirmation and volunteering to serve as the chair of the Outreach Committee, Charlotte. That's really, really great. And so we have full rosters of all three committees, and I look forward to great progress being made by each of the committee. Thank you very much. And now, old business. Judge Pearson, would you like to just explain the rotation process again?
Yes, so we have 2 commissioners' terms that expired this past December. I've been in touch with MODA. We did start the reappointment process, I think in October. And so they have reported that it's still in the mayor's office waiting for approval. She's going to follow up and try to push it through quickly so we can get it on the council's agenda. And then also the appointment of Commissioner Aizawa as chair. There was some lack of clarity whether that actually ever was done and what the appropriate way to do it was. It had in the past been done through a mayor's order, but it looks like that mayor's order was never actually done. So I think technically that makes Chair Aizawa still acting chair, but so they're going through the process to figure out what they need to do to formally make sure she's named as the chair. So that's the other thing pending there.
Thank you so much for that update. And moving to the next agenda item, which is rescheduling the 23 protected traits training for the commissioners.
Yes.
So I see that now there's a new date proposed, which is April the 10th. And
Tyler has thrown out April 10th, the 17th, or the 24th at 6 p.m. To do a training specifically for the commissioners. And again, the February 23rd training is open to anybody. And if you want to take that one, it'll be the same training. So we'll make sure you have the information for February 23rd as well. But I don't know if there's a preferred, I guess I should ask, are any of those dates off the table for anybody that you definitely can't do?
So either date counts, right?
Yes.
I'm not available on the 10th.
Okay.
And Judge
So then-
Pearson, I'm not available on the 10th, but I certainly could have another attorney that we would have an attorney there if that's the date that everybody lands on, but I'm not available on the 10th either.
Okay. So we could take the 10th off then and look between the 17th and the 24th. Is that anybody else not available on either the 17th or the 24th? If not, then I'd say let's go with the 17th and lock that date in.
So just confirming, this is not going to be on it's absolutely not going to be on the 23rd. It's either 17th.
There is one on the 23rd, but it's not specifically for commissioners.
Okay.
That is one it's open to the public. I think it's sort of like the human rights liaison training. So, but it's going to be the same training by the same trainers. So if people are available on February 23rd, you certainly can take that training in lieu of the one that we're going to do on the 17th.
Okay, thank you.
And
Right.
what time would it be on the 17th?
6 p.m. and it'll be virtual. Right, so then sounds like the 17th is the date we will lock in, and I will confirm that date with Tyler.
Great, glad that we have that settled. Given everything else at the end of the year, no committee reports are due this month, and so we will skip that. And now we have an opportunity to make announcements. Would anybody like to make any announcements, to share anything at this point? Okay, seeing none, I think we are ready to adjourn our meeting. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
So moved. Oh.
Thank you so much. And so our meeting is hereby adjourned. Thank you very much for your time, and I will see you on the